red, purple. Those colors usually will go for either lunch or dinner events. Brunch could be a quick one from your office. So we have social meeting, or can we meet for this? Brunch is real quick. It's office wear, whatever you want to the office also goes for that. Lunch, the same thing. But if it's a dinner and it's a particular event, it could be an award, award night, and things like that. You should be very conversant with the colors, with the theme of that event, and dress appropriately towards that. Okay, so confidence. How do you exude confidence at the table? Each and every one of us we feel nervous at certain times in our lives. It's not a big deal. I get nervous most times, but because I will talk to myself way ahead of whatever I need to do. So, and by the time I'm getting to the particular reason why I'm at a place, I'm in my best element. So I'm talking as I should talk. I'm acting as I should act, but because I have prepared way back. Next slide, please. Great. So to be confident, these are some tips I have put here for us to practice. Take a power stance. Always raise your head. Your shoulders have to be straight. Have a relaxed and friendly face. Smile. The issues of the world will not go away by frowning. I know that we have so much to do, so much expectations, but let your head be raised high. Keep your shoulders straight. Have a relaxed and friendly smile and friendly face as well. Be observant about your surroundings. If you're not sure about something, please ask. I encourage people to always ask. Speak when you're at the dinner table. Join in the conversation. Share your thoughts. This also helps you to be visible, and they will see you as friendly. You just don't cower at the corner because you're afraid. Know yourself. You have achieved some things in life. Be proud of those things. Let those things be in your head as you are joining in the conversation. Be calm always. Know that everyone is nervous at some point. That is the truth. Even the host or hostesses, or the conveners, they all get nervous. All of us are nervous at some point in time. Be polite. The usual please, thank you, oh, I'm sorry. Those words go a long way at such events. We can go to the next slide, please. Communication. This is also very important at such settings. Yes, we could engage in some light talk, jokes, and all of that, but keep it still at a professional level. As I said initially, these things take time, and it's by observation. When you go, maybe your friend invites you, observe. Don't stare at people, but observe how they're doing it, because we're all on a journey. Some are ahead, some are coming after us. Whatever point in life you are, be observant, be self-aware. That is another key thing. It's very important to be self-aware. We can move to the next slide. So how to communicate at the table. Introduce yourself, brief but deep. Your name, what you do. Those are two very important things. Compliment people, share in the conversation as well. While this is great to do, you can also give a slight nod in agreement, or tilt your head to the left if you disagree. Engage in intelligent conversations, discussions, especially with the ladies closest to you at the table. The lady on your left, the lady on your right, and the two that are sitting across you on the table. While you're having conversations at the table, this is important to note that our body is speaking too. You have to be self-aware that what you're saying, the messages you're passing across, it's aligning with what your body is also speaking. People watch our body language a whole lot than we can even imagine. Let's move. Our next slide, please. Yes. Table etiquette, elegance and poise. I have stated here what elegance means. Is a quality that is reflected in the way we carry ourselves, in the way we speak and interact with others. So what makes you elegant and how does being elegant help you make a statement? Here are a few things. How you carry yourself, your posture, how you walk, how you sit. We're going to see, yes, there's a picture here of how ladies are supposed to sit. You can't sit just anyhow. We're not wired to be like that. Not that there's, oh, I can be free, or no, 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 no. You have to sit appropriately because it speaks a lot of the kind of to what you are really to people. Communication in speech. If you are an elegant person, your speech should be eloquent. You're not mumbling over words. You can hold a conversation. You're not wavering or awkward. People don't find what you say awkward. Then manners. You're polite. You're self-aware. You are kind. The basics, please and thank you, are terms we should not shy away from using. And avoid the use of the word sorry in place of please. I know we say these things a lot. Oh, sorry, can you? Please, can you? Please pass the bread. Please pass me my charger or pass my phone to me. Please, not sorry. It's a no-no. We have to practice this as well. Let's move to the next slide, please. Poise, it's dignified, graceful, self-confident manner and behavior. As women, we should exude composure. That's how we sit. Dignity and elegant mannerisms. If you watch maybe some movies or even the women, maybe your boss in the office or be your mentor, how do they carry themselves? How do they walk? These are things that we should observe. We can practice all on our own. If we have where, I know they take these classes on poise, but even before you take these classes, be able to watch a lot of videos, read books that talk about poise, and observe people who carry this grace as well. Next slide, please. At any table that is an event, there's certain expectations for ladies. That's the truth. Elegance and poise are a part of it. And here are ways to bring this to the table. So starting, arrival and sitting, please arrive on time. It's not a good thing to be late as a guest. Identify your guests and greet. Also identify your hosts and greet them. No bags, phones on the table. As we saw in that video, place those items either on the seats or someone next to you. You know, there's always a little gap at certain tables. I know that for some, it's they don't provide those things, but largely, if it's not provided, sometimes you can put your bag right at your back, where when you're leaning back, you can feel that, okay, your bag is still there. And if it's not comfortable for you to do, or you're not sure, you can place that bag right under the table where it will not be seen. Sometimes I will even place it on my, on my feet, on my shoes. So I know that my bag is there. Nobody's bumping into it. Nobody's stepping on me and all of that. Then keep a proper posture with no elbows on the table, unless you're trying to pass across a message. And when you're trying to talk at the table, make sure your cutlery is they're not on your hands, because it could be seen as a weapon. Anything can happen and it hits somebody or even hits you. So we have to be conscious of ourselves and those around us at that table. Next slide, please. I hope I'm not rushing too much. I'm just conscious of time. So while we're sitting, wait for your host to begin. Place your napkin on your lap once you observe your host and other guests initiate that the meal is open. Start with the first course always. Identify and walk your way through the meal. Don't use your utensils while speaking. Set your utensils down when you're not using them. And should you need to leave the table, place your napkin on your seats as an indication of your exit. either to the restroom or to attend to something. If it's an event requiring each guest to order, avoid meals that are messy to eat, like pasta. There are different ways to eat pasta, and pasta is usually eaten in a swirl or using a spoon, not a knife, using a spoon. The fork is like the main utensil to scoop it, but it's the spoon that is being used to hold it properly. But it takes practice to do that. So if you're not sure, avoid pasta totally. Next slide, please. So during the meal, chew your food slowly and with your mouth closed. Don't speak with food in your mouth. Pause. Don't talk so much or over another person. Like you want to drive a point or you have a contribution or an opinion. Slow down. It's just a conversation. You could raise your hand, signifying that, okay, I want to say something. Slow down. Then don't be caught staring or with a blank look on your face. Self-awareness. Go to the restroom to examine your appearance. It is important. You never can tell. Something might have spilled on you, or maybe your powder, you feel it's sticky or it's running, or even your nose. Maybe the meal, part of the meal that you ate is spicy, and you just need to go and examine your appearance. It's important. You're not expected to leave a clean plate. It is polite to leave some food on your plate, so don't clean your plate after your meal. Next slide, please. As dinner ends, when you have finished, leave your plates or plates in the same position. Don't push them aside or stack them. The waiters know when they come to clear these items. And if it's a place where you can't get a waiter or they're not even focusing on the table where you are, just leave them in that same position. Your utensils, especially the fork and knife, should be laid diagonally across your plates at a 10 to 4 p.m. We saw that in the video, or the 12 to 6. That's it's signifying that you have finished. And always thank your hosts. Next slide. So conversation starters. Conversations help us intellectually and increases our vocabulary. Be always ready to learn and add value. People remember what you say and how you carry yourself. Introduce yourself, and once they also introduce themselves, ask them what they do. Compliment the other person or other persons. Ask random opinion or advice. Nothing really deep that may be considered offensive. So these are ways we can carry on conversations or start conversations at the table. Next slide, please. So if there's a section for networking before everyone sits at the table, maybe there's expectations or some level of etiquette. When you're having cocktails or having drinks, keep one hand free. So don't hold your glass of water or wine or any other maybe beverage in one hand and then hold the food. No. You have to leave one or place one maybe on a table or at the bar where you can, as you're taking your drink, you can engage in conversations. And when someone walks over to you while you're seated, always rise to greet them. It's very polite to rise to greet them and make good eye contact. It's a sign of confidence when you can make eye contact with people. Always greet your hosts and important guests. If two people are engaged in deep conversations, don't interrupt them. Wait until you're invited or there's a pause in the conversation, and then you can contribute. Be interested in other women. Ask them about themselves and what they do. offer your contact information and know when it's time to move on to another group. You don't have to remain static in that group. Body language as well. Read their body language. How are they? What are they saying? Are they comfortable with you being around there? Or just, you can set a time for yourself and move on. Say thank you. See you another time. And move to another group. Then conversations at the table depends largely on what the purpose and objective of the meeting is for. That's what the conversation should be around. However, polite conversations should occur with those across us to our left and right hand sides of the table. Now, speak in low tones. You don't shout at such gatherings. You can raise your hand and speak up. You don't have to shout. You don't have to be loud. There are other people around you there. Next slide, please. Thank you. It was a pleasure speaking to us on this topics. These are just tips for us to follow, to understand. And if we have questions, please ask. Thank you so much for this opportunity. So I'm open to questions. If you have questions.
Thank you so much, Ibukun. Thank you. Questions, please. You can send it to the chat room. Okay, while we wait for that, I think I have a question here. Okay, so there's a question that says, what do I do if I drop my fork?
When you drop your fork, just raise your hand in case there's no spare fork or knife utensil on the table for you to use. Raise your hand. A waiter would always come to meet you. Do not pick your fork or any utensil. If it falls, it drops, no problem. But just raise your hand. You could look across the table if there's an extra. Usually they have those plates. There's some other plates that some extras are there. You could pick one. Have somebody pass it to you, but don't drop it. And when a waiter sees you, you tell the waiter to signal to him or her that an utensil fell on the floor. They'll help you pick it.
Thank you.
Okay, there's some questions here.
Before that, it just occurred to me. So, there are some kind of food that it's not easy to use fork to eat. Like, goat meat, things like that. What do you do in such dicey situations?
The goat meat is usually in a soup, right?
Yes.
So usually after eating, they're usually in bite sizes. They should be in bite sizes. But I know this part of the world, we don't have such options. Usually what I do, because there's always a dessert fork, I use that, pick that piece in the saucer where then I cut it. But usually I leave the meat. If it's too large, I leave it because you never can tell.
Shining at your eyes.
Pardon?
What if the meat is doing catch me? Eat me.
That's why I said if you're so interested in eating it, take it out and place it. If the main course plate is there for you to use, you can use that, place it there and cut it into bite sizes for yourself using your knife and fork. Then you can eat it conveniently.
Thank you, but don't use your hand. Let me help you complete
No,
that.
No, don't use your hands at all. So no.
Even if it's amala and bagiri, don't use your hand.
Even if those ones, you will use spoon. That's the beauty about table setting in our own culture, you can use spoon. It always comes with a spoon. Always.
All right. Thank you very much. Jennifer, you can ask your question.
Welcome.
Jennifer.
Good evening, everyone. I already dropped it on the chat room, but I don't know if I should still say it.
Just say it.
Okay, I see the question. The napkins, you know why those
Thank you, ma'am.
napkins are hot?
I was asking that.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Go
No,
ahead.
my first question is in Chinese restaurant, the napkins are usually hot. That is it also advisable to place it on your lap? And then my second question is there are some restaurants where they are not because I don't think it can be placed on the lap. So that those short napkins can be placed. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jennifer. So for Chinese restaurants, the reason why those napkins are usually hot is actually for you to clean your hands with. They're for cleaning, they're not for your lap. They're for cleaning. They hand it over to you so that you will clean your hands. It's like a disinfectant. Because for largely for Chinese restaurants, the what we call small chops, the spring rolls and samosas is usually the first course. What, or will I say, the appetizers for them. So those napkins are for you to clean your hands. And when you're done, you drop it. There's always napkins on the table for the meal to be used. So Jennifer, does that answer your first question?
Yes, ma. Thank you.
Welcome. So the second question, some restaurants' napkins are short. What's the perfect place to place it on your laps? Your napkins should be on your laps, no matter how short they are. I don't know. I've never seen maybe like a short napkins. I don't, because it's supposed to be really folded, you know. So, but it goes on your lap.
Okay, Jennifer, do you have any other question?
We have
okay, there are just two questions. Okay, Sharon is asking if we are a group on the table, is it right to clear my home part alone when I'm done?
You don't have to clear your own parts. You leave your plates there. And you know, I don't know how maybe people a couple of people that eat rather fast. I don't know, but I know that when you are in a group, you don't rush your meals. There's no need to rush. You should always observe everybody at the table. If it's the bread, even if you're done, leave it there. Bread, the butter and the bread are placed on your left frontal side, just as we saw in the video. You move it, you move that plate back there. Usually you bring the saucer on the main course plate. But when you're done, you put it back in that position with the knife. They would always know that you're done. So you don't clear your own parts alone. Let the waiters do their jobs. Sean, does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you. The second question, is it right to use toothpicks on the table?
Yes. Yes, you can use toothpicks on the table as long as you cover like this. You cover like this. And if you're not comfortable with doing this, or you forget, don't pick your teeth in the open. You can use the time to go to the restroom, maybe after the meal, go to the restroom and check. Maybe you floss or use a toothpick. You can do that, but you must always cover while you're using it.
All right, any other question? Anybody?
Hello.
Is it okay to use the fork alone without the knife? Yes, it is okay, but it's better professionally. The objective of this conversation is high stakes dinner. So what if you went to, or you were invited to a dinner where Mrs. Ibukun is at your table? Do you understand? Or maybe one of the mentors, the people you look up to, is sitting next to you. You have to practice these things. It's not so hard to use a fork and knife. It's not, sincerely. If you practice it, let people laugh, or laugh at yourself rather when you practice it at home. Sit in front of your mirror and practice it. Your knife would always be on your right hand, and the fork, and the knife is supposed to guide so that food doesn't spill while you place your food in your mouth with your fork. So practice it so that when you get to the White House tomorrow, it won't shock you. When you are invited to Aso Rock for a dinner with the president, you won't be caught unaware. So these things, you need to practice it. There's no meal this part of the world, or let's even use in our Nigeria, Lagos, where we are now. There's no meal that you won't be able to use with both the fork and the knife. It's just one of the things that etiquette provides us to do. So practice at home first. Practice even in the office. Buy this disposable cutlery, knife, fork, spoon, and practice. Before you know it, you're a pro. Thank you, Oluwayomi.
Thank you.
Practice. We're on a journey, so let's practice it.
I always wonder whose idea it was to be putting fork on the left hand.
I have no idea myself, but
I guess it's their culture. It's the way it came to them. Just like
is.
The alphabet words were put in the dictionary. Well, maybe that's just the way they figured it out. And okay, let me just put it too. Well, it looks more convenient to use a knife with your right hand than it would with the left if you're not a southpaw, I think. So I think it would be
safer. You're using the knife.
Yes.
To cut.
It would be safer using the expert hand to cut while you use the less expert one to eat.
To pick it. So the fork is really not doing much.
Mm-hmm.
The knife is doing more of the work. So practice with it. And eating pasta, you don't need a knife. So maybe you can eat pasta without, but it's messy.
You just roll the stuff.
You roll it on your fork with your spoon.
So if I'm a lefty, am I allowed to put my fork on my right hand?
Oh, yes. Yes. It depends on the hand that you're comfortable with, or how you learned it. Okay. So it's not cast in stone. Whichever hand, they will actually know that you're more conversant with your left.
Okay.
But if you're using your right hand most times and you decide to switch, it will be awkward for you. You'll be wondering what's going on. It will have this feeling of when our babies are learning how to wear their slippers, they always wear the wrong way, or shoes. That's the feeling you will get.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I guess no question anymore. Can we just say thank you to Ibukun? Unmute and say a big thank you to Ibukun for this wonderful session.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. You're welcome.
Thank you. We appreciate you. Thank you for sharing the part of you with us. And I liked where she mentioned about how to dress to dinners, both colors, and we have also been taught about dinner etiquette, different type of cups, and a whole lot. So you can follow us on social media to get some of these tips. You see existing videos there, and then we'll still share some bits from all she has shared today. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone. So there'll be links in the chat room to provide some feedback so we can always get better. Also, go to the Instagram bio. You see a Linktree link there where you can read about us and get more information. And if you would like to join the community of the Yet Married Ladies, please complete the form on the Instagram bio as well, and we'll reach out to you. Follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and we're on LinkedIn. Just check Thriving WWU. Our next program is going to be in November, which is usually the Hannah gathering tagged Unveil Your Purpose. The theme for this year is Preserved. Who is excited? Preserved. And it's going to be holding Sunday, November 19th, 3 p.m. So there will be no hangouts next month. Next month, we are commencing Unveil Your Purpose, where we take time to find her path, seek God, and really find why we are here and what makes you special. I'm sure it's not only me that wonders that are we just here to eat, drink, get married, give birth to children, labor every day, and then go back. Is that all? I doubt it is. So what's the essence of her being here? What is that unique experience that makes you different? What is the unique knowledge that makes you different? And what has been designed? What solutions have been designed that you are going to solve? Because if you actually don't find it, then everybody attached to it is actually going to suffer for it. So we look forward to having you there, and you'll see more information about it on our social media platform. I want to say a big thank you to all participants for making it here this evening. Thank you for being a part of the program and for believing in us. We want to thank the social media and content team for rolling out several contents on table etiquette in the past 2 weeks. The prayer team, the volunteers, all members of the community, and our sponsors. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. So it's time to take a picture. Can we put on our video so we take a good picture once and for all? Everybody, if you cannot put on your video, just tell us so we won't wait for you. Are we set for the picture? I'm only seeing myself and Ipokun. Is anybody joining us?
I'm not joining
you. You're not joining. Okay. All right. So we just take it. All right. Thank you all for joining us this evening. Have a lovely night and a lovely Sunday. Bye.